Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, Chatting with Chops. My name is Karen and I like to make fun and entertaining videos that might teach you something. And today I thought we would make an angel food cake. So let's get started. So as much as I love to make my bakes vegan, this is one I just have not figured out. This is 1.5 cups of egg whites. So I do not know how to make a vegan angel food cake that's going to turn out as wonderful as a regular angel food cake. So this time around we're going to make this regular unleaded. So the first thing that we have done is we let our eggs sit out at room temperature for about 30 minutes, and then we separated them, and we got, usually takes about a dozen eggs depending on what eggs you're using, but it's about 1.5 cups of egg whites. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that in our mixing bowl, and you have to make sure that those have been room temperature. And then the next thing we're going to do is add our cream of tartar. I want to add 1.5 teaspoons of cream of tartar. We have preheated our oven to 375 is what we're doing right now, and you need to put the rack in your oven to the lowest part. So we're going to beat this for about a minute and get it nice and foamy. Well, it helps if you turn it on. You got to plug it in. Let's try that again. Okay, so as you can see, we got that all nice and foamy and bubbly, and then we've taken 1.5 cups of powdered sugar, which my bowl is too small, and 1 cup of flour, and we have mixed that in here together. So I'm just mixing that up a little bit so that the flour is not sitting all on the top, and vice versa with the powdered sugar. Okay, and then we're just going to set that aside for the moment. Add to our foamy business for about 2 tablespoons at a time on high speed. So here we go to do that. So with the last addition of the sugar on high speed, we're going to add our 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla bean paste and our 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. And as always, if y'all haven't seen any of my other videos, I always put all the ingredients down in the description box. So let's get that adding. All right, now we're going to keep beating on this until our meringue gets nice and stiff and foamy and nice and glossy. All right, let's see how we're doing here. All right. Yep, that is nice and stiff. Okay. So the next things we're going to do is all by hand. Get all that goodness off of there. Okay, now, all right, so the next thing we want to do, let's get our mixer out of the way. Okay, so we have our beautiful meringue. All right, so now the next thing we want to do is start adding our flour confectionery sugar mixture into this. So what you want to do is 1/4 of a cup at a time. So that's 1/4 of a cup. So 1/4 of a cup at a time, you want to get that. It doesn't have to be exact because this whole bowl has to go in there, but this is about as much as you want to put in at once. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to sprinkle this over the top. Just doesn't have to be beautiful, just sprinkle that over the top. And then the next thing you're going to do is using a rubber spatula is what they recommend in the recipe, and I would recommend it as well. You're going to take this and you're going to cut vertically through your batter and mix it in. You want to be careful because you want to get all of this powdered mixture mixed in with your meringue, but you don't want to be aggressive with it because you got all this beautiful air that's in your meringue, and if you're too aggressive, you'll knock all the air out of it. So you just want to kind of fold it in. See how I'm doing like that? And just get it mixed in really good. And see, once it disappears, then you do another 1/4. And you sprinkle it on top. And then you fold it in again. And you're just basically grabbing from the bottom, rolling it up, and just making it disappear. So we have everything mixed in, and what I was going to recommend is just make sure, do one last good stir through while it's still in the bowl, and make sure you don't see any flour, confectionery sugar mixture, anything that you don't want to be in one bite of your wonderful angel food cake. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take what's actually a angel food cake pan is what I know it to be, and it basically has the funnel kind of attached to it. So it's supposed to be set up where it's really easy to get it in and out. You can use a regular tall pan and then turn it upside down because that's how you have to let it cool. But I was fortunate enough to be given one of these, so we're going to use this. All right, so basically what we need to do is get all of this into here as neatly as possible, which you guys can obviously see my countertop. That is not something easy for me to do. And again, while you're doing this, if you see any clumps of flour or batter or anything that doesn't look like it got mixed in, now is the time to catch it. Okay. All right, let's get all of this out of this bowl. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is just kind of try and get this kind of even on the top as much as possible anyway. And yeah, we're going to clean up our pan in just a minute, but I just kind of want to get this as even as possible. All right. And I know this is probably going to sound silly because you got all this meringue, so all this is air. But basically what you want to do is just kind of gently swirl your spatula around here a little bit to make sure you don't have any like big giant air pockets. And you'll see some of them will be popping up at the top. And you just, I mean, as any time when you have a cake, you don't want to have a big giant, air pocket in your cake, same as like with your bread. So I'm just kind of trying to gently swirl this through to find any big air pockets that could be in here. I don't want anybody to get a piece of cake that has a big air hole in it. You want them to just get all wonderful cake. All right. Let's get that all off the spatula. Let's move that back down a little bit. All right, so this is the part where we're going to clean up our cake pan a little bit. All of these edges here, anything that's up here like this, is just basically going to burn once it's in the oven. So it makes it cleaner and neater if you go ahead and just wipe that off. And see, like right here in the middle where I've kind of got the fluted spot, I'm going to Try and clean that up a little bit. And I'm just using a clean wet washcloth to do that. All right. So now we're going to take and put this in a 375-degree oven, and we're going to cook it for about 30 to 35 minutes. So how you're supposed to be able to tell that it's done is you just kind of want to press it lightly, and if it bounces back and everything feels kind of dry, you want everything to feel kind of dry. Now the great thing about this particular pan is it's got feet here, and then it has the funnel, and so immediately coming out of the oven, you want to turn it upside down. And that way it doesn't fall in on itself and lose all its air. We're going to leave it like this for about 2 hours, or until it completely feels cool to the touch. So just leave it straight like this, don't mess with it or anything, and just leave it alone for about 2 hours. So we cooked it up. I'm going to see if I can make sure nothing is stuck. Let's see how it looks. I can say I've only made probably about 3 of these before. So we're just gonna run, I'm using just a little rubber scraper around the sides to get it unstuck from the sides. That way it can come out freely. Okay. Right, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now I'm just going to run a knife around the edge at the bottom to get it unstuck from that. And I'm just pushing it to the where I can feel the center. So I'm just running it around the bottom. It smells lovely. My daughter says that angel food cake tastes like marshmallows to her. Okay, and again, like I said, I'm going to go around twice so I can make sure that I've unstuck. I don't want it to be stuck in just one spot, because then it won't, when it lets go, it'll tear apart. Okay. All right. Now, I'm gonna use this to kind of drop it down. There we go. And just put it on my nice pretty plate. And there you go. There's our beautiful angel food cake that we made today. Now, yes, it's a little crumbly on the sides, but it is gorgeous. So there you have it, my beautiful angel food cake. I have let rest, and now we're going to cut into it and see how it tastes. The recipe recommended using a knife that has a serrated edge, so we're going to try that. I'm just going to try to saw into it. You don't want to mash down on it because you've got all this beautiful air that you've created from the meringue. Okay. So there's my beautiful piece of angel food cake. And you kind of see what I was talking about, though, how I said you needed to swipe the spatula through it. You want to try not to have a whole bunch of big air holes. So let's try it and see how it tastes. Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so it's nice and spongy. The outside has a nice little bit of a crunch to it. It's really, really sweet, which is not overly sweet, but it is definitely sweet. But it is just lovely. Now, with angel food cakes, you can add all kinds of fabulous things on top. You can add fruit and confectionery sugar, or like I said, lots of different cut fruit you can put on it. There's a million different things you can put on top of it. But quite honestly, my family just likes it completely plain like this. I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe, and I would love to make more bakes for you. I will see you next time. Don't forget to go check out some of my other bakes that I do. I have a lot of like vegan bakes, baking for two, some specialty bakes, some really easy bakes, and then I also have some travel videos. So go check out my channel and see what else you can find and explore and enjoy.